who isn't fascinated by the lush green forest cover around, wherein several birds are chirping melodiously all day. An area which is deeply rich in biodiversity and has successfully provided habitat to thousands of plants and animals, and maybe even more. I believe such a beautiful sight will catch the eye of every person, but none of us steps forward to contribute even a bit in creating a massive forested area. Probably because this requires a huge deal of your time, efforts, and money too. Haste you wonder, you can create a forest on your own within the time span of 2 to 3 years. If this thought intrigues you, be with me in this video till the end. I bet in the next few minutes, once you will be done watching this video, you will be confident enough to be the owner of your self-created forest. It might seem to you that growing a forest that includes several varieties of small trees, big trees, climbers, creepers, and bushes is a cumbersome task in itself. But in reality, this task isn't that laborious and tedious. With a small team of 5 to 10 members, a little amount of patience, and with the right techniques, you can turn barren land into a forested area. And all this in less than 3 years. This way of vegetating plantations and trees is based on Miyawaki technique, which was first introduced by Akira Miyawaki, a Japanese botanist who has successfully created several forests in Japan. Also, in order to grow a forest, you really don't need to have access to several acres of land. Rather, a few square meters of the area would be sufficient. Supporting this idea, the iForest team based in India has successfully created a forest of 350 trees which were planted on 100 square meters of area. That is nearly equivalent to the parking space of 6 cars. Without further delay, I will introduce you to the steps through which you can germinate your own forest. So let's begin. Prepare a list of native plants. Start with jotting down a list that includes the names of all the native trees and plants. This is needed because it is comparatively easier to germinate indigenous species rather than any other migrant variety of plants. The native plants are accustomed to the locally prevailing environmental conditions, hence possesses more capacity to withstand the weather alterations, if any, and need very little care and maintenance. After preparing the list, start seeking the nursery where you can buy them in abundance and at cheaper rates. Not all the species are locally available, so you have to import the plants from their native states. Preparation of soil. The next stage is the most crucial one, wherein the preparation of soil has to take place. Since several layers of soil are to be poured on barren land, therefore it is very significant to make the soil alive before using it. The soil must be moisture retaining and have ample nutrients and microorganisms so that the plant can grow well in it. In order to make soil porous and rich in minerals, dug 1 meter deep to add the leftover materials like paddy husk or sugarcane bagasse. Once these are introduced into the soil, the dug out soil is to be put back and manuring needs to be done. Adding manure to the soil will promote the growth of several friendly microbes, insects, and worms. The consistent movement will loosen up the soil particles, thus making it more fertile. For this, you can use cow dung, sheep manure, chicken manure, or any green waste such as the waste from the kitchen, including vegetable peels. The dried leaf eggshell and egg trays can also be used in this process. Finally, to make the soil alive, we will make organic liquid enriched with microbes and nutrients, and the procedure follows hereby. Take a big container in which you will make this liquid, somewhere as big as 100 liters or more. Then add 10 to 15 kilograms of cow dung, 1 to 2 liters of cow urine, 500 to 600 grams of jaggery to it. Optionally, the kitchen waste can be added too. Fill the remaining container with water and let the mixture stay there for at least 3 days. Don't forget to stir it at least once a day, both in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. Stirring is essential as it encourages the growth of friendly microorganisms which are vital in maintaining the fertility of the soil. Now it's time to plant the saplings. Once the soil is prepared, the plants are to be sown in it and adequate water should be poured into the soil so that the plants don't face any shortage of water in their growing stage. Make sure to water the plants occasionally for the first few months so that they don't dry out due to the dehydration. Once the tree grows few meters long, they will hardly need any external care or maintenance. Mulching. This will aid in retaining the moisture in the soil for longer duration, preventing soil erosion and blocking weed growth. Also, after mulching, the plants won't need to be watered as frequently as in general because the excessive water isn't evaporated. Rather, it stays in the soil so that the roots can absorb it when required. These are the only 4 mandatory steps that are to be followed to create a forest. Remember, not to do any sort of pruning because the main motive is to raise a jungle and not a garden or a park. The sown plants may need the water in their initial growing stage, but after a year or so, they will become self-reliant. And this is how the trees of a forest thrive, strong and self-sufficient. Additionally, make certain that the plants must be sown near to each other, so near that once they grow up, the sunlight shouldn't directly reach the soil surface, but only to the canopy of the trees. And the forest should become dense enough that humans find it hard to move in. Within a year, the roots of the plant will penetrate deeper and deeper to form a mesh-like structure that acts as a network through which the roots can consume the minerals from the soil directly. Without a doubt, I'm sure I have successfully made through the bet of convincing you to create your own forest, which was made at the beginning of the video. But what I expect you from all is to acquire this method of growing a forest and make practical achievements out of it. Don't forget to share your experience with me by commenting below. I truly appreciate for watching this video. If you liked my work, then please do subscribe and hit the like button and share this video with your friends and family members. See you in the next video. Until then, stay happy and blooming.